Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have terrible luck for the next week. The happiest moment in football comes with a goal, and it is always delighted with the whistle of a referee. But officiating is perhaps the most difficult thing to do in all sports. Sometimes we praise them for making the right call, and at other times we rebuke them big time for being a moron, even if they're right under the rules. But while our love for the referee depends on the context of the game, some of them had generated more joy and fun in football than a goal whistle. And today, we at FactFile want to celebrate this legendary humor with the top 10 rare and funny moments of referees. Number 10. The Fernanda joke. The game was getting intense. Each player was hell-bent on making a goal, and beads of sweat had begun to roll down from their cheeks like raindrops. By then, it was almost halftime at the Ecuador-friendly match held on June 3rd, 2019. On that day, the famous Brazilian referee, Fernando Colombo, held whistle for the match. For a few years, she worked as a model. She then moved on to sports analysis for a short while until she later decided that football officiating was the best job for her. Colombo was most notable for her funny pranks that added more fun to soccer in relevant situations like friendly matches. During this match, Damian Diaz, the Barcelona Sporting Club midfielder, was her victim. Fernanda, being herself, called Damian close and threatened to withdraw a warning card. The hands in her pocket are about to come out now. Just wait for it. There you go. It was a handkerchief. She even wiped her face with it. What a joke. Number 9. The red card on a fellow referee. Everything about soccer is tasking on the human body, and obviously that stress hit a linesman right in the tummy. He jogs and runs around the field to ensure fair play. For this linesman on one Scottish Premier League like that, the breaking point was just before a corner kick. He began to feel a rumble in his stomach. Whether it's the sun or too much drink from the previous night, something's gone rotten in his stomach. And he knows it's never going to get better until it gets worse. But he keeps fighting. Seeing his condition, a player moved closer and gave him a pat. He told the referee about his assistant's clear distress, but that's when a tidal wave of puke flared up his throat onto the unlucky grass. Onlookers were left sick, and an applause soon followed from the crowd. The referee, however, wasn't so merciful. Instead of an arm, he floated a red card in the air. But then again, the linesman turned around and puked again. Would someone get him a barf bag, please? Number 8. The smile that overturned a red card. Nowadays, football matches lack full hysteria like the good old days of Ronaldinho and Maradona. Back then, not everything was about goals. Some jokes were added to the mix, and it's not necessarily from the players alone. If that doesn't flow well with you as a modern football fan, check out this evergreen Italian match between Inter Milan and the almighty AC Milan. It was quite a tough encounter, and there are many exciting moments in this particular match. But let's fast forward up to 30 minutes into the game when AC Milan was down by 1-0. You can see how Ronaldinho made a free kick that was deflected over the bar, but due to one reason or the other, the referee made a call he didn't seem to agree with. So Ronaldinho walked up to challenge him. The referee tried to walk away, but he wouldn't keep pursuing. Just when the refs had enough, he delved into his pocket out of rage. Next thing, he mistakenly issued a red card. Realizing this, he swapped up in a jiffy and it all ended as a joke. Number 7. The proposal kickoff. What's the best thing you've seen before kickoff at a football match? The opening ceremony? How about a marriage proposal? Back in 2019, a football match in Romania whistled off with one of the most heartwarming stories in football history. A few minutes into the match, one of the linesmen went on his knees in front of a female colleague. Out of the blue, he brought out a ring, and along with it, he popped out loud the sweetest 5-syllable question in the world: will you marry me? Everyone was taken aback, including the other referees, the players, and the fans in the stand. Although it was a shocking and romantic moment, such a feat couldn't have been achieved in a single day. According to the reports, these two have been on their dating spree for over 3 years. So, everything the male referee needed was already set: the love, the willingness, and similarity of purpose. He only decided to stamp things with an exclusive marriage seal. Number 6. The steeplechase. In this video, a player was down because of an injury he sustained, so automatically the game had to be paused. A few moments after the unavoidable recess, we see the referee walk up to his assistant. He probably went to consult him about what had happened and what the next line of action should be. Next thing we see, he went into the crowd of players and tagged one of them with a red card. It wasn't really clear why he had to float the card, but the call didn't go well with one of them, and he decided to challenge the referee. All of a sudden, the referee lighted his face with a fire slap. Other players jumped in the case, and soon, the referee had the entire team chasing after him. But lucky for him, he made it out on time. Number 5. The pitchside bird attack on a linesman. The linesmen are perhaps one of the most uncherished officials in football, because they're usually the villains behind the greatest disappointment for a team and their fans. Just when the ball is in the net, they would suddenly raise their yellow flags in the air as a signal for bad news, and offside. So many times they end up braving several slanders from the crowd, but it seems that the human fans in the audience are not the only ones putting them to blame. Some birds also like football, and this one did not appear to agree with this particular linesman. In the video, we see how the cheeky, disgruntled birdie bullied the linesman. The official tried to dodge like a sportsman that he was, but what is athleticism in the face of an angry bird? Round after round, the bird kept on attacking with its pointed beak, and every time, the assistant referee kept on dodging. But it got to a time when all hope was lost for him, and he had no choice than to beat a retreat. It's like the bird was saying, next time, you should make the right call. Number 4. The funny moment with Bibiana Steinhaus. Born in 1979, Bibiana Steinhaus was raised as a footballer like her father. At the age of 15, she was awarded a professional certificate in football officiation, and by 2001, she had already become one of the best female referees in the world. According to the UEFA officials category, she ranks as an elite referee, and in Germany, she was the first female referee ever allowed in the men's professional football league. In 2018, Steinhaus was awarded the Referee of the Year by the German Football Association. But despite these laudable achievements nestled on her whistle, Steinhaus had been a target for many funny and controversial incidents in football history. One of such hysterical moments happened in 2011. It was a match between Hertha Berlin and Aachen in a German second league game. Steinhaus had just made a decision that favored one of the players' teams. As he walked past her with joy, the player did what he would have done with any male referee as an applaud, gave him a pat on the shoulder. But it was only too bad he forgot that a woman was officiating. Number 3. Let me cool you down a bit, boss. Hot-headed Craig Bellamy of Cardiff City is no rookie to controversy on the field of play. If he doesn't throw chairs at his managers, he would turn his fellow players into a golf ball at the slightest brawl. So everyone knows he is fond of landing himself in hot water. In this daredevil attempt, we see how the Welshman decided to pull an unbelievable stunt during a short break on a football match. That match was between his team and the Lion players of Manchester City. Since it was a hot afternoon, it was no surprise to see the Welshman and the other players swigging from a bottle of water. The referee also came around to discuss with one of the managers, but the surprise, however, was to see the way Bellamy emptied the bottle to the last drop on the referee. In his rampage this time, Bellamy had no reason at all. We think he just wanted the referee to cool down a bit, and thankfully, the man saw the funny side of it and he didn't react in a card-waving fury. Now it's time for today's best pick. We often see players hug and kiss fans and their loved ones on the field, but have you seen two referees do that on the pitch during an active match? No? Let's check this out. Number 2. The Fernanda Kiss. Oh yes, it's Fernanda again, and this time she spiced up the fun with an aroma of romance. In this particular match, you can see a group of referees brainstorming about their next decision on the game. It must have been a tough one to make, seeing how many of them had to gather at once. But look at how they all matched in pairs, laughing at the slightest joke. At this point, they seemed to have agreed on what to do, and it was now time they returned to their various spots. All of a sudden, the fourth official, the main one with the whistle, turned around and placed a kiss on the soft, beautiful lips of Fernanda Colombo. At first, we thought it was a dirty joke, but seeing how she welcomed it with all love and joy, we were forced to investigate, even though it was funny and romantic combined. As it turned out, the referee was her husband, whom she got engaged with in 2018. Knowing this, one of the players sought out to exchange their flags and whistle. In the lovable end, she took over as the fourth official. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works. Number 1. The Selfie Yellow Card. October 2019 held a charity football match between Brazil and an Israeli veterans squad. It featured several Brazilian legends like Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Bebeto, Roberto, Cafu, and lots more, just to keep the list short. With such star players on the field, everyone was rolling with the flow as the second half had just begun. Through passes here and there soon lifted the spirit of the game, but then the Brazilian side seemed to be extremely favored by its legends, and Kaká was the one in the spotlight at this very moment. As he dribbled down the field, the referee suddenly stopped the game. She walked towards him, went to her pocket, and then she booked Kaká a yellow card, like for no reason at all. For a second time, she went back to her pocket to pull more against the midfielder, who was surprised at the call. This time, it was no red or yellow card, but a smartphone. Unbelievably, it was to take a selfie with famous Kaká, so it was all a joke that left everyone with a pat on their back. Which of the following moments do you think is the funniest? Have you ever caught a funny moment on camera in your favorite sport? Football is ours, so let's know yours in the comments. But don't forget to share this video with your friends. Let's all laugh off the stress. There's too much of it in the world already. I hope you have a good one, and as always, thanks for watching.